I guess we're live.
I think we're live. Looks like we're live.
I think we're live. There's a red light that says we're live.
Well, great. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me in this webinar. I've got Andrew Fuqua here, a good friend of mine, and we're going to talk about what value stream management isn't. He recently published an article on the SD Times about this, and we thought we'd have a discussion, him and I, about it, and about the article and the success we've had with it, and all the questions I think people might have about what value stream management isn't. So, Andrew, let's start.
Well, there we go. Okay. Well, so we will have some time for questions. I think there's a question box somewhere in your screen there. Go ahead and look for it and find it. So when you think of a question, you can throw that in there. Maybe we can address some of them as we go. And Lance, you have a giveaway at the end. There's a freebie. Is that not true?
Yeah. So we'll talk more about it at the end, but ConnectALL is offering complimentary value stream mapping or value stream optimization sessions. It's about 2 hours. We'll get on the line. We'll map out some stuff on your value stream. We'll give you some findings, impacts, and recommendations to where you can improve. Doesn't necessarily going to include software, but you get an understanding about how you can use these VSM principles to improve your value streams, complimentary. So we'll talk about how you can get that at the end.
Sounds like a sales thing. Not a sales pitch?
Oh, it is a little bit. Sorry, it is a little bit, but it is the goal here to help people improve. But at the same time, we've got a little bit of work to do and helping in other ways. So yeah,
I mean, it is self-serving, right? Because along the way we want to see opportunities to use ConnectALL, but it really is a valuable thing. We go through a real get your organization together, go through a value stream mapping exercise, an evaluation assessment. You come out of there, the people, I've watched some of these, people who come out of there come out with some real valuable stuff. So it's a valuable thing. It's not totally self-serving, right?
We could go through it and say ConnectALL doesn't work for what you're trying to go.
Yeah, that could happen.
I mean, it's really a great assessment program we have in place. Finding recommendations and impacts against what we find as we talk to you and how you can improve flow in your software delivery. And right now, it's so important to deliver at speed as everybody's thrusting through a digital transformation. This is just one tool you can use, and it's complementary.
So I didn't mean for that to take so long. So sorry, everybody. The last slide will give you a link. You can email sales@connectall.com and ask for that, and then there's you can go to connectall.com/VSM, and there's a little form there you can fill out to request one of these assessments, but we'll show you that at the end. So anyway, Lance mentioned this thing that we have in SD Times, this article, and it kind of looks kind of like this. There's the link in the SD Times. You can Google for what value stream management isn't, or you can find it pretty easily on SD Times if you wanted to read the article. But let me just sort of kind of paint the picture of what it's all about. So Chris from Forrester, he's like the foremost expert on value stream management. He's got this great definition of value stream management. But it's value stream management is such it's a big topic, and it's an abstract thing. And so the definition is necessarily big and abstract. But, when I read this, it's like a combination of people and blah, 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 process optimization, yada, 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 Charlie Brown, kind of stuff. The adults want. And I'm not knocking Chris. I hope he's not listening in. But it's a great definition, but it's lofty and wordy and kind of hard to understand. So I think it leaves just the whole concept, regardless of whether they've read Chris's definition or not. The concept leaves some people with some questions, and I've seen some of these questions on the internet and in conferences. People are genuinely trying to understand it, and they're asking honest questions, but the way they ask them, sometimes it ends up the answers they get aren't really helpful. So the whole point of this is to bring this down to earth and dispel some of the lofty abstractness. So hopefully everybody can understand what this is all about. So here were some of the kinds of questions that I was hearing. For example, the first one, let's look at this one. How do we start value streaming? The reason that's not the best question or the worded very well is because value stream just is. It's like air. If you've got an enterprise, if you've got an organization and you've got even a single customer and you're delivering value to that customer, you have a value stream. You might not call it a value stream. You might not think about value streams, but there is a value stream. It just is. It's a thing. It's in the air. So you can't really start value streaming. You've already got one. And it's kind of the same with value stream management. People ask, how can I experiment with value stream management to see if it's useful? Well, if you've got a value stream, I contend that you are managing it. To get the value stream in place, to deliver any value to any customer, you have to have some amount of creation and management of that value stream. You might not use those terms, but there's nothing magical about it. So that's the kind of the first thing I wanted to dispel, is that it already exists. You might not be managing it effectively, you might not be managing it intentionally, but there is some management of a value stream. What do you think, Lance? Is this clear? Am I doing good so far? How am I doing?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're right on here with this stuff, right? There is a value stream that's already there. Like you said, you may not have mapped it. You can't really do value streaming, and you're right on point when you talk about it. It's there. It's part of the organization. All organizations have a value stream in some way. You just don't acknowledge it as that, right? So when you think about some of these questions, is how do you evaluate a platform? Well, it's kind of hard to evaluate a value stream management platform when the humans do the management, and value stream management tools help you automate within that, right? So look inside your organization, you can easily map your own value stream, the flow of work from the decompensation. All of that is something you can do without a tool. And then you can look for areas where waste are. And now you're managing your value stream through the lens of intent, not just managing what's going on. You see what I'm saying? The lens of intent of, I need to improve what we're doing. I have a process. I have things I'm doing. Those are my value streams. And now how do I improve those? That's how you start to experiment with value stream management.
I think that was the key word in Chris's definition is optimize. So it's about value stream management to although it is it can be done unintentionally, you are already doing it, but the distinction there, the thing that we want to call out, the thing that I highlight often, is that you want to do it well and you want to optimize it. You want to get the most out of your value stream. You want to be efficient with it. And then so you need to understand it. You might use things like value stream mapping, or you might use something that some value stream management platform gives you to help you either see your value stream or get some metrics out of it so that you can diagnose it and understand how it's mapping, how it's operating, and so that you can see the results of your optimization effort.
Well, that's where these lean principles and systems thinking come into place that we're talking about. How to use those to manage your value stream, and then choose tools to improve it. And Chris has it right where he says it in there. He says, people, process, and technologies. That's exactly what you have to think about. But then we can decompose that a little bit and give some better understanding about how you can.
So kind of, I've got, this isn't in summary of the whole talk, but kind of a summary of what we've kind of talked about so far, is that it's value stream. The value stream exists in your organization, and the managing of it already exists. So it's not some new thing. You're already doing it, even if you haven't really thought about it that way. And another point that just to highlight is that you can't get value stream management from a tool. It's a human endeavor. It's something that a person has to do. Now, the person might use the tool, the value stream management platform, and of course, ConnectALL is the best, and everybody should go out and buy ConnectALL. But you can manage your value stream without a tool, I would argue. And also, finally, the third point is that there isn't just one way to do it. It's not a, value stream management trademark, registered copyright process that I need to go get a book to learn how to do value stream management. Rather, what would you do, Lance? I mean, how do you improve a value stream?
Well, there are tools you can use, but they're age-old tools that have been around since the 50s, right? You talk about lean principles, map the value stream. But, you could do that with a PowerPoint if you wanted to. And there's value stream mapping tools, and ConnectALL has a tool which you can map the value stream and understand what the present state is. How does the work get broken down? What is your work intake process and all the things you need to do to deliver code in production? Map that out, and then look for areas where you can improve flow or remove waste according to lean principles. So the principles that we use really are there just to give us a good construct to talk about, right? The word waste, which comes from lean, that gives us, that's transportation waste. It gives us a way to construct and talk about it so that we can look for areas to improve. That's the nice thing about lean. And then systems thinking on top of that as well, where you're looking for the feedback loops. You're trying to understand how all this works together. So if you want to get started with it, it's really starting to understand these principles so you can hold a conversation around process improvement in the value stream you already have. Or if you're lucky enough to be a newer company, design your value stream with intent when you're starting out. How am I going to deliver this from a value stream perspective?
So lean, is that the only way to improve a value stream? What if I'm working for an Agile organization? What about that? Can I use Agile principles instead of lean principles?
Yeah. I mean, lean is Agile is a little bit different than lean, right? That's kind of like more of the whole end-to-end how things flow. But Agile, you could say, I look at this, I'm looking at my value stream. We want to do Agile here. It'll help me improve flow.
Yeah, so any kind of thing that will help you improve the movement of work or become more efficient, whether you want to call it lean or agile, or whether you wanted to use other techniques, just the project management body of knowledge, PMBOK, PMI principles, could that help you improve your value stream?
Yeah.
Business process reengineering, maybe even Six Sigma or TQM might be appropriate for certain organizations. Maybe not so much for a lot of pure software development products, but the point is that it's not a particular thing. It's not like Scrum where it's got 3 roles and 4 artifacts and 3 ceremonies, whatever the numbers are.
There's no value stream manifesto.
Yeah, there's no value stream management manifesto. Maybe we could write that, though.
Yeah.
You want to get together this weekend and write that, Lance? We can do that.
You think of yourself.
Okay. So let's go back to the slides and see if there's anything else here to talk about. So we've got, we've talked about some of this kind of stuff. It isn't new. Value stream management isn't the same as value stream. Value stream management isn't the same as value stream mapping. A lot of times, especially because so many times we use the same acronym, VSM, for both of them, that can create a bit of confusion. Value stream mapping is a useful technique, and it's a thing that you can do as part of value stream management. It's a very important, useful thing. but don't equate the two. Value stream management is much larger, a much larger topic than just just value stream mapping. It's not a defined process. It's not a tool or platform. How about the last two? It isn't a person, and it isn't just project management.
Yeah, that's so true. And then some of the other points on that as well, you know, I talk every once in a while, I'll talk about using SIPOCs to help with value stream management, right?
Yeah, you and those big words, you got to tell us what SIPOCs is.
It's supplier, input, process, output, customer.
Okay.
It lets you kind of look at how things are flowing. What do I need, and so on. So there's all these different tools besides just value stream management, just value stream mapping. And you have to bring a lot of those together to do it in the right way. And we talk about mapping the information flow just as much as the material flow. And the other thing on there that was really interesting on your slide that reminded me of something we did last year. What does Agile have to do with value stream management anyway? What does DevOps have to do with that value stream management? Nothing. Value stream management doesn't really think about those things. They're going to get mapped in that process, but really the point is looking at how you're delivering and how information, work breakdown structure, all of those things work in your organization. You know, how many discussions have we had about work decompensation, not unmonetizing, breaking it down.
Decomposition, yeah.
Composition, right? And how do you do that in an organization so that you can effectively see into your value stream? That takes a human to do. No tool is going to tell you how to break your work down and deliver across multiple teams. We'll probably automate it and help you visualize it. It's not going to tell you how to do it.
Right. So, but one of the points I make is that value stream management isn't a person. And kind of what I was getting at there is that, and you and I have had some debates about this, is the need to have somebody in the organization high up with the role and responsibility to manage and improve and optimize your value stream is a good thing. But my fear is that, oh, thank goodness we hired Fred as the value stream manager. Now I don't have to worry about it anymore. You know, it's Fred's job. Fred's going to do it. And I'm a firm believer, as expressed in lean principles, and it's spelled out really good in the Kanban method, is the notion of, now I forgot what it is, leadership at all levels. And the point there is that everybody in the organization, all levels, needs to understand some aspect of the value stream and work on managing it and improving it. It's everybody's responsibility. You can't just give it to Fred.
You know, I read somewhere a while ago that managers in manufacturing are not really assigned to improve value stream. They're assigned to enable the people working in the value stream to enable it, and they're there to support their methods and them to increase how work gets done in their cells and so on. So this is that same thing, right? So you got to have somebody, you know, who thinks about it, can empower the people to think about how they can improve flow, bring recommendations, and make things more flow better in their organization, what they do, right? So we have a total structured thought there, but that's really what the value stream manager should be, or the value stream leader maybe, that says, so how do you guys think that we could deliver software better, faster? How do I empower the people doing the work? And I think I've heard that in the past, and I've seen that work on shop floors where you have a Kaizen where the people that actually work in the cell get together and talk about how they improve flow through a particular cell within manufacturing. And that applies here as well.
I think we have just one more topic to cover. So we're getting near the end. I want to remind people, if they had questions, go ahead and put them in the question box, and we'll get to those. Wanted to make sure people had time to do that. So the one last point that I made in the article had to do with value stream management isn't just project management. There's the notion of organizations managing the work and making sure the work flows making sure the right work is done, making sure it meets the conditions of satisfaction, keeping an eye on due dates and maybe expediting. All of that stuff I describe as working in the value stream. It's working in the business. It's making sure that we deliver what we agree to. But the other side of the thing that we've alluded to a number of times here is working on the business. There's working in the business and working on the business. There's working in the value stream and working on the value stream. So that notion of optimization has been the theme, I think, through most of this whole conversation is that you want to use whatever technique you use, lean or agile or indifferent or project management techniques to improve your process, reduce waste, reduce things that block the flow of work, is an important aspect of managing a value stream.
Absolutely.
Just pausing to see if you had any, because I mentioned expediters. You and I have had.
For me to talk about those, yeah. So that's not expediters are not value stream managers. Those are people who are designed to move things through, make sure that work is ready. So you can almost look as an expediter, as a scrum master, make sure that the work is broken down, it's ready for people to do it, take it through. That's what an expediter does. That's not a value stream manager. That's just somebody who makes sure that these people in this cell, the materials are there, the work order's there, everything's ready for them just to go and do it. That's an expediter. That's the same as kind of like a scrum master in a way, but it's that same kind of thing when you think about that. So value stream manager, and again, the PM play as well, right? It's not project managing. You're improving a system that lets the project manager execute more efficiently if you have that type of work going in your system. It's not the same in any way. The value stream is being worked on and improved. Those people are working within the value stream.
Yeah, so I don't know if this kind of concept of value stream management versus value stream leadership is going to go anywhere, but I think it helps, for me anyway, it helps illustrate this concept that we're talking about. If you Google just management versus leadership, you get lots of articles about the differences but between those two concepts. And it's kind of the same with, I almost want to make something out of this in value stream management, that people manage the work in the value stream and don't spend enough time optimizing and understanding and improving the flow, which I don't know, maybe value stream leadership's not quite the right phrase to use there, but just to draw it out, I think is just to make the point that we need to not neglect the optimization.
So I remember introducing this thought of the value stream leader at a webinar we did earlier. And the value stream leader is there to help map the value stream. It has to be a leader who's somebody who's going to define your governance model, work on your governance model. And if you Google value stream leader, there actually is job specs for this in manufacturing. The leader is the guy who's helping everybody move things through. He's empowering people on the teams to figure out how they can deliver better, faster, improve their velocity and their flow. The leader is somebody who is, in a certain position in the company. I wouldn't say that we'd want to go out and, define these titles. I'm a value stream leader. But I think that person is really thinking about how to lead and direct the flow of work so that you're delivering better value, that it ties to your business outcomes through your value stream as well. And it couldn't be just a developer, because that person is going to be developing all day. It needs to be somebody that is, in manufacturing, have process engineers that kind of tell how we're going to do this. So something like that that's going to allow you to be more effective by utilizing those types of skills. It's somebody who will embrace the understanding lean. It's going to be somebody who's going to understand systems thinking, design the value stream to deliver the best optimal flow for your organization. Those are all different.
Well, I think you just addressed the first question. The first question was, what attributes should you look for when hiring or appointing a value stream manager? And I'm hoping that maybe you could draw that out just a little bit more, maybe address it a little bit more straightforward. Can you do that?
Yeah, I mean, let me see if I can. So it's not it's not the operation guy. It's a process-minded person. The person's going to have visibility of how things work in the organization, have the right level at the different sections of the company, right? Talking with the executives on what's important to them, making sure that their initiatives go down. We're mapping that. It's somebody who's not looking at expediting, meaning making sure that things are moving along and running around, making sure that people have their tasks done for the releases. It's not that. It's somebody who's looking at the system, figuring out how I can intently remove waste, apply any of the new principles. It's also ensuring that as I'm looking at this, we're not just removing waste, but we're making sure the right security is in place and all these things so that we're delivering with encoded production, right? That is security free. It's somebody who's making sure that the feedback loops are right, that the alerts are happening. It is a person who understands all the different things around the governance model, how feedback happens, how work gets broken across the organization, or in just their group. So it's somebody that kind of has a good understanding of how work gets broken down and delivered, and then can look at it through the lens of why are we doing it that way? And question and be inquisitive toward it, right? I use an analogy from my manufacturing days where we were working in a particular cell where we had to measure something right on a clipboard, put it in a box, and get it shipped. And then we started to measure it, put it on a clipboard, put it in the computer, put it in a box, get it shipped. Why are we still putting it on a clipboard? Because it's a 40-year-old corrective action. Well, let's remove that waste. But if you're working in it and you're not looking to improve flow, you're just trying to get your day job done, you need somebody who's going to work at it, improve it, look at it, look for these things, right? So it's a unique individual. So it's you, Andrew. Everybody, let's hire Andrew.
That would a lot of people wouldn't like that. So it's somebody who has an interest in the lean principles. Somebody maybe an agile, someone who understands agile and wants to make that work better in an organization, or maybe somebody who's going to understand the metrics, know how to gather them and interpret them. Okay. So we probably beat that to death. I asked you to be concise and you talked for 5 minutes. So you need to be a little bit shorter there, Lance. For me.
Sure.
Yeah. Just jerking your chain. The next question, how do you communicate the importance of value stream management, the importance of this to someone not involved in software development?
Well, that's a great question, right? So, but the importance of it isn't the value stream, it's the outcome of it, right? The importance isn't the importance of value stream management, it's the importance of the time, it's the importance of speed of software delivery as a new currency, it's the transformation of the organization to deliver faster, better software to your market. It's, it's those things, it's the outcome of effective value stream management that is important. Right?
But this is an undeveloped thought. This might not be helpful at all, but it used to be that there were two kinds of organizations. Those in which if you say agile, people run screaming and it won't go anywhere. And then there's the other kind who's bought into agile and in the middle of a transformation. Anything you want to get approved or bought, if you tack the word agile to it, it gets approved. I kind of think that my point, or the thought that I had in mind is, maybe value stream management is one of those words where if you walk around saying value stream management, we need to buy a value stream management platform. It's either going in, depending on your organization, it's either you tag that word to it and it's instantly approved, or you tag that word to it and people are going to say, oh, it's that guy again. I wish he'd shut up about value stream management. So maybe the way to communicate the importance of it is to not talk about value stream management, but to talk about, work is getting blocked. We've got dependencies. We start working on something, and then it gets held up, and the developers have to put it aside and go get it unlocked and pick it up later, and they don't remember where they were, and requirements change while things sit gathering dust. So it's maybe the way to communicate the importance of it is to identify pain points in your organization and talk about those, and not talk about the abstract, not bring up Chris Kondo's definition and, it's got 40 words and 100 syllables. That's going to scare anybody away. It's the best definition out there, and it has to be what it is, but it maybe don't start with the word.
It's a good definition of it all, bringing together. But
it's the best definition.
It is a great definition. So, but you're spot on that, right? Talk about the results of effective value stream management alongside of the pains of that. So if you're having quality issues, why do I have defect escape issues? You can say, well, we probably should have better effective value stream management. We should understand the flow of work so we can see where those defects are coming, so the feedback's there, so you can make decisions to improve software delivery. This is where a value stream management assessment might lead into that and help out, where we can look at findings, recommendations, and impacts. Throughout your whole value stream, there's also there's a lot of rework that may occur, right? Why do I have so much rework? What's going on? It gets the test, but it doesn't pass if we'll redo that feature. It's really focusing on the outcomes, aligning the work in production and code in production to business outcomes. It's improving quality. It's ensuring security. All those things is how you convince why value stream management is so important for software. And the last part of that is value stream management is more than software development. If you're manufacturing anything, value stream management, whether that's a service, whether that's whatever, it's more than just software development. It's an age-old thing. I think most people understand what value stream management is. If you were manufacturing, it's the improvement of your process of delivering stuff. So
there you go.
We may have beat that one up too. Hopefully, we answered that for you in a roundabout diatribe.
So if somebody wanted to throw another question in there, there's a little bit of a lag before I'll get it, but maybe I'll see the question before the end. Feel free to throw any other questions in there. Did you have any final words, Lance, before we go to the value stream assessment?
I got two questions. First, we've done a few of these this way, Andrew. It's just you and I talking about your point of view and my point of view and so on. And I want to know from the audience whether they like this format. We just talked. And we talked about value stream management. I think your article was just great. I read it before it got published, of course. And I like your follow-on article as well, which is learning to see the value stream. I think that's another great article you've got. And there's just a ton of great thought leadership as the value stream management market unfolds. And I enjoy having these conversations with you both in this format, in a webinar, and also, of course, directly in person. So I'd like to know if anybody could comment on whether they like this format as we talk about these things, right? That would be really interesting to me, as I'd like to do more. And then secondly, I welcome everybody to go to ConnectALL.com/VSM, and if they'd like, we have some great value stream management experts that work on our team, and we can give you a high-level 2-hour complimentary value stream mapping session where we take a look at what you're doing, give you findings, recommendations, and impacts. And again, it's complementary. So
that follow-on article is also in SD Times, sdtimes.com, value stream /learning to see your value with a bunch of dashes and all of that. So learning to see your value stream is the follow-on article. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that one. Thanks. So let me show everybody the slide. If you wanted some of our Smart Solutions team folks from ConnectALL to come help you work with your organization to make a value stream assessment, you can email us at sales@connectall.com or go to connectall.com/VSM. There's a form there. You can fill it out, and then somebody will contact you about scheduling that. So I got two final questions. Let's see. Where's the new one? Where is the market going from your experience? What percentage of companies are thinking about something like this?
I can only refer to, what Forrester is saying. Chris said it's going to be quite a big market. And then also, at the same time, Gartner has said a few things like 70% of all companies will be entering into value stream management in some way within 2015. Those are tools, process improvement. So I just see this market from a value stream perspective really taking off. And besides what the analysts are saying, and they're really smart analysts, smarter than you and I sometimes, I think. But I think improving software development and removing waste from it is key to every business today as we move to the self-serve environment where everybody is self-serving. Your employees self-serve through their HR applications, your partners self-serve when they place orders, your customers are self-serving. Everybody's going through a digital transformation and moving to where software is in every company. And most companies develop software throughout their organization, no matter what they're doing. So I just see this kind of taking off. The software development is going to become more and more important to every organization if they are forced to now transform their business.
I beg to differ. I think this is, and maybe this is pedantic, but it's kind of almost the whole point of my article. Is the question was where is the market going from your experience? What percentage of companies are thinking about something like this? 100%. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. So the whole point was that value stream management it already is. You might not be calling it that in your organization, but you're already managing your value stream. You might not be managing it intentionally or effectively. You might not be devoting a whole lot of time to optimizing it, but everybody is managing their value stream. That's kind of my whole point.
I am going to concede to your perspective. You are right.
But then when you read about when Forrester talks about the value stream management market, I really think that I shouldn't speak for them, but more often than not, it's about the tooling, platforms, value stream management platforms. Where's that market going? These tools, these platforms that help you manage your value stream, not manage your value stream for you. So anyway, we've bantered about that one long enough. We got some more questions.
I'm aligning with what you just told me. You're right, because you are managing value stream. They're talking about the tool to manage the space. So you're right. I accept you are.
Okay, so the next question: what does the output of a value stream management or mapping session from ConnectALL look like? Do you have an example?
I do, but I don't think I have one here we can show. I'd be happy to. Somebody wants to be happy to send you.
Have it on our website anywhere? An example? We should get.
Yeah, there's a data sheet we have for it, and then an example of what you get out.
So basically, you'll get a map.
You get a tool map, and it's not so much a value stream map, but you look at your tools, there's a process stuff in there, there's value stream information in there. And then we have a whole section where we talk about, okay, based on what this was, here's what our finding was. This is what we believe our impact is, and here's some recommendations that you can get to improve flow or move waste from what we uncover. Now, in 2 hours, we can't uncover a lot, but we can give you enough to where you have some really small things you can do to improve flow. So it covers all the way from, it covers all the way from, portfolio information, how to ideas get in, all the way to what deployment tools you're using, to what your processes are. We put in human processes in there. We look at how the information flows. It's an interactive session where we're dragging and dropping icons and doing things. We take that back and then we create a whole report for you.
Okay.
And it's more than just a diagram, right? It's the findings and recommendations.
Right.
There's really the value of it.
Last couple of things. A nice comment. Appreciate that. Another one. In my experience, most company executives I talk with have an interest in this topic. Yeah, it's good to hear. It's good feedback. Thanks from the audience to answer one of the other questions. This webinar style could be interesting in the form of a debate. Lance and I could do that. If there is a topic in VSMU or other value stream management SMEs disagree on, sure, we could certainly find something like that.
We could do a debate. We could set it up to where we give a list of questions, somebody could ask them, we could debate them based on a different perspective, because I'm more come from the world of IT operations, and you come more from the world of software development. So
yeah,
I'm sure we could have a pretty good debate.
And my perspective is better.
I would concur from your perspective. From your perspective, I'm sure your perspective is better. I had a point, and that was, do executives listen to this? So here's the point of view I have on that. Whenever I'm at a trade show, and I talk about what ConnectALL is, and depending upon the trade show, when I talk about lean, I talk about software delivery and lean perspective, and I talk about removing waste and being more efficient and tying things to what's important to the business, I have noticed that the C things and the executives listen to me talk. When I talk about the details of just connecting things or all that, they listen, but not with the same level of intent. So yeah, they'll listen to you if you talk to them about improving organizational efficiency, improving flow, tying outcomes to business and production, tying software and production to business and so on. They do listen to that. Whenever I've been in a show, the people that are executives that I talk to listen to them.
Great. Okay. Thanks everyone for the feedback. I appreciated the questions. And Lance, I enjoyed bantering back and forth with you. And I guess that's it for now.
I'm sure we'll do that again later today. For sure.
All right. Thanks everybody. I appreciate you all joining, and look us up online. We'll be around. Bye now.